Going through a breakup and trying to get your ex back is one of the most emotionally rigorous processes that you'll ever go through in your entire life because you're suffering through anxiety in this whole time where you're not contacting each other, right? You've already begged, you've already pleaded, you tried everything you could do to get them back. You still want them. They're not being responsive with you. So you have to go no contact and you're suffering through your anxiety. And this is all happening while in your mind you're losing your future, you're losing, maybe the house or the dog that you had together. All these vestiges of your life are sort of like evaporating in front of you. But we all know that nobody goes for the person that's sad and suffering, right? If we go out to the bar right now and we look around, we decide, okay, who do we want to talk to? Who's attractive in this bar? We're not going to choose the person that's scowling with their arms folded in the corner of the room. No, we're going to look around, see who's laughing, having a good time, being loud, kind of having fun, dancing around with their friends. And so from that perspective, you can start to understand that you need to get out of this space where you're sad, where you're really dysfunctionally sad and you're not eating, etc., and get into a space where you're thriving and starting to enjoy your life despite the circumstances. But that can be really, really hard when your person pulls the rug out from underneath you, can it not? So how do you cope with this situation? Well, number one, you're going to have to grieve, right? You don't have a choice. If you try to just repress your emotions of sadness, they're all going to come back out later. So do the healthy thing, get sad, cry, feel all the feelings. And for a couple weeks, maybe a month, whatever, you're going to have a shitty appetite. You're going to lose weight. You're going to feel sick to your stomach. You're going to be sick with anxiety, looking at your ex's social media, etc. But you don't want to let it go too much longer past that. And you really have to be careful because we as humans, we get addicted to feelings. Okay? This is why people do drugs. It's why they do video games. It's why they watch Netflix. It's why we do anything to feel other than just that emptiness, that Zen-like awareness that's there when you literally aren't doing anything else. That's why our minds are always going. It's why we're always, on our phones, etc. And so if you have this sadness, it's this stimulus, it's this sensation that's coming into your body because of recent events. You got to be careful not to overindulge in that because you have a choice as to what degree that you interface with the feelings that are coming out of your body, right? Are you going to keep that narrative going in your head and have a pity party for yourself? Or are you going to keep dwelling on the sadness because you're addicted to the feeling, even though it's not a positive one? Or are you going to feel the feelings, let them pass, and start to visualize the next chapter in your life in a healthy way? And guess what? If you do that, you're like 20,000 times more likely to get your ex back. Because again, we want the thriving person that's happy and not the sad, scowling person that's not doing well. I'm the kind of person that can date anybody that I want to. Likewise, if I have any negative self-thoughts, if I judge myself, I'm like, oh, that was stupid when you said this, or man, I don't like the way that you got the gray in the beard or whatever. You root those out. You ruthlessly root out any negative self-talk. And you do that second by second by second over the period of a few months if you have that negative self-talk, and it'll go away after a few months of ruthlessly rooting it out. So you create entitlement, you get rid of negative self-talk, create outcome independence by cultivating new options in your romantic dating life. Okay, you don't care whether or not you get an individual person because you have other options and you're worth it. You're entitled, so it doesn't really matter what happens in any one individual direction. You start taking social liberties everywhere you go. So you kind of blurt out your observations. You sort of start interacting with people and you become the arbiter of the narrative socially wherever you go. So if I step into Starbucks and I criticize somebody's coffee order in a fun and playful way, I become the judge now of which coffees taste good and which ones don't. These are the things that you need to start doing after you've grieved, after you've picked yourself back up and you put yourself in in that saddle. And guess what? From there, in that saddle, you can actually get your ex back. And if you want a coach to guide you through this process, what you can do is click into my link and click this link right here. Either set up a call with me or contact me if you want long-term ongoing coaching. Yes, it is expensive, but it is something I do with a select few people. So what you can do is click into my profile, get in contact with me, and I'd love to walk you through this process of healing yourself and, either getting your ex back or finding the next person.